the misty mountains cold.
Is this that Hobbit shit?
Hello, dear friends, and welcome to That Hobbit Shit. I'm Corey.
And I'm Mike,
Mike, I'm attempting to speak with reverence for today's episode.
because it's a heavy topic.
Yeah, it's the last chapter of the book.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, on that note, why don't you tell us what today's chapter is?
Well, Corey, we're talking about chapter 22. A chance for Samwise, gardener of the Shire, to show his quality.
Excellently chosen title.
Thank you. Okay, so we catch up with our heroes. Aragorn has just led them along a safer, greener side of the river to a nice rest stop he had heard about. Everyone laid down for a nice nap, keeping watch in turns. During Frodo's turn, Aragorn had a scary nightmare and got up to talk about it. Once he calmed down, they checked Frodo's sword, and it was glowing ever slow, which means bad tidings ahead for our crew. The next morning, after a wild sunrise, Aragorn called a meeting with everybody. He was pressuring Frodo to finally make his decision. Like a kid cramming for a test, Frodo asked for just one more hour and wandered off to find a good thinking spot.
He wandered off into the forest.
He wandered through the lush green forest, listening to the waterfall and thinking about it as hard as any hobbit had ever thought before.
Wow, that's true.
Much like Aragorn the night before, Frodo felt a sudden chill. He turned around and found Boromir smiling guiltily and rubbing his hands together. Boromir explained how worried he was about Frodo and how he shouldn't be alone in the forest burdened with all of this thinking, and how maybe two heads could think better than one. Frodo made some not so veiled insults about Gondor that even Sam would have picked up on. After months of this abuse, Boromir snapped, "You ungrateful fucks have no idea what Gondor does to keep you safe. Maybe I do want the ring, but only to keep protecting you. But no, you want to march it right onto the enemy's doorstep with your fucking gardener as your bodyguard. I've been dragged through one bad decision after another and nearly died countless times on what should have been a straightforward trip. One I made alone less than a year ago." Up until this point, you might think Boromir was making a lot of sense.
You might.
And so what if I end up a mighty king? Wouldn't I just deserve it? And then Boromir leapt at Frodo. A very scared and very embarrassed Frodo slipped on his ring and ran and ran and ran until he was at the top of Amon Hen. From up top, he could see all the land surrounding him. He was in the seeing chair, remember?
Amon Hen.
Yeah. He could see all the land surrounding him. In them, he could see the stirring of troops, some marching, smoke rising, generally bad news war stuff. Then in the distance, he saw Minas Tirith shining like a beacon in the dark. Fuck, was he embarrassed. Suddenly, he felt a great eye roving out from Barad-dûr. A real physical eye, Corey. And it was gross. Frodo came to his senses and ripped the ring off before that real physical eye spotted him. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew were just starting to wonder why Frodo had been gone for much longer than an hour. As they were talking about it, Boromir crept into the clearing and tried to sneak back into his spot. They all stared at him and he said, "What? I didn't do anything. Frodo ran away from my perfectly helpful advice." Everyone immediately panicked, including Gimli, including Legolas, and including Aragorn, who only stopped long enough to give Boromir a real stink eye. While they were all running away like idiots, Sam, the apparently dumbest one of all, had a thought. Suppose Frodo knows he had to go it alone, and suppose he knew the Fellowship would try to stop him. Wouldn't he wait until they all left camp and sneak off on a boat? Sam ran back to camp in a double panic and was just in time to see a boat being pushed off by an invisible rider. He ran into the water, nearly drowned, and was rescued and chastised by an invisible Frodo. Ignoring some shouts of battle in the distance, they went back to shore just long enough to grab Sam's dry clothes and his travel pack, and then pushed off. The end.
That was a very succinct description of the chapter there, Mike.
Thank you. I cut out a lot of the thinking.
You also summarized Boromir's argument into pure practicality.
He gets a bad rap, perhaps worse than Sam.
Yeah, you sort of yeah. The book's sort of written from a hobbit's perspective, but from Boromir's perspective, from the perspective of the race of mankind.
Yeah, yeah, he's been through it, hasn't he?
He has, yes. And so I suppose we're here now, Mike, at the end of all things. The fellowship has been broken.
It literally has, hasn't it?
Really? Literally?
Uh, well, I don't know. It's been
Um,
splintered. How about that?
yes, it has. Splintered like a good. Yeah, okay, sorry. Well, okay, speaking of Boromir, I got a note for you.
Yeah.
In Boromir's ranting and raving, I thought it was interesting that he specifically rejected anything said by elves or wizards. But he does actually happen to suggest in passing that Aragorn could and should wield the ring himself.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the first time he actually like sort of defers to Aragorn a little bit. He's like, you know what? He's the rightful king. If he put that fucking thing on.
Yeah. But then in his rant, he also, I think, says, like, but if I took it, what would be the big deal?
But I mean, Aragorn is an idiot, so
Yeah. I mean, I was right half the time. But the important thing was it shouldn't go to a hobbit.
yeah, the underlying point there, yeah. It shouldn't go to this hobbit, it shouldn't go to the gardening hobbit, it shouldn't go to any of the hobbits.
Really, would you give the greatest power in Middle Earth to a hobbit?
To a cowering little fool that's afraid of a boat.
Yeah. Yeah, he just watched them cry for the last week.
Yeah, I guess again, switching back to Boromir's perspective rather than the Hobbit's perspective, because last time we were talking about how like horrifying it would have been for Merry and Pippin, but like imagine how insufferable it would have been for Boromir with the two of them.
These are going to be our heroes, and they're just like cowering in the corner of the boat. Every wave sending them shivers down their spines.
Oh, did you see that one? Just a wake from Aragorn's boat. Um, yeah. What about you, Mike? Got any notes?
Yeah, okay. My first note: why did Legolas and Gimli run off in a panic? A blind panic. They should have. They're both quite old. They should have level heads about them.
Yeah, I think it was just sort of the thing to do. Everybody was panicking.
Yeah, they were caught up.
I mean, I don't know that's really a good answer necessarily, but
I think it's convenient that those two of all people should have been like, well, let's think about this. Maybe
yeah.
maybe not Gimli. I'd accept an argument that Gimli would get all hot headed and run off. I guess.
But yeah, being the only representative of elves, Legolas probably should have kept it together a little bit more.
Embarrassing.
Their while we're on the subject of those two, their choices, like for what to do next, were also kind of surprising. They're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go to Minas Tirith. There's like really no other choice as far as we're concerned.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten that there was a whole discussion on where they should go. They were like ready to overrule Frodo.
Yeah, they're like kind of the worst possible idea is to wander barefoot into Mordor.
They're not wrong.
No, they're not. It's like, yeah, so we could do one of two things. Which one do you think is more likely to succeed?
Um, I have a note that says, "Was Boromir that wrong?" But I think we've kind of already discussed that, and the answer is no, he wasn't.
No, yeah, he certainly goes nuts. But yeah, like, yeah, I think the way you put it was pretty good, and like all practicality was on his side, and it's a shame too because he's so is like so genuinely sorry after. Like he realizes he really fucked up.
I can't wait for the next book to find out how he amends what he's done.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how he's gonna phrase that apology to Frodo.
Yeah, when he sees Frodo again.
Yeah.
I
Oh
actually
God.
forgot that the book ends on a cliffhanger like that.
I also forgot that it did not end where the movie ended because
Yeah,
yeah, it,
weird, huh? I
yeah,
mean, it makes more sense for the movie to end like that.
yeah, definitely. It puts you on a better cliffhanger for like wait a year and then pay admission again. But
Yeah, and it would be weird to ask an audience to be like to remember why they were in a forest, you know?
yeah. Yeah, imagine the two towers opening on just like blind panic of the fellowship.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, where is Frodo? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, geez, as opposed to where the two towers actually does open. Okay, no spoilers.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. I do have a note though. Do you think Gandalf meant for Frodo and Sam to go off alone? And did he set up Sam from the get-go?
I think he probably set up Sam from the get-go. I don't know. Actually, that kind of leads into one of my notes. Um, because I had a note about how Aragorn decided that a few of them should go with Frodo and everybody else should go to Minas Tirith. I just thought his choice of crew was interesting. Aragorn, Sam, Frodo, and Gimli, all strutting into Mordor. Yeah, I don't know if he was gonna like. I don't know what his plan was there. If he was gonna use Gimli as a distraction at some point.
Well, we both know Gimli wouldn't be starting any campfires or anything like that. And Legolas should have probably gone.
Well, I wonder if he said not Legolas because as an elf, Legolas would have just like maybe been screaming the closer they got to the evil land, giving them away.
Or just being too tall and beautiful and been obvious, like shining in the dark.
Actually, yeah, yeah, being an actual source of light in the land of darkness. Yeah. So sorry, not to uh, skirt around your question. To go back to your question, I think yeah, Gandalf probably planned something along those lines. Like you know, just a few of us will go. Not the whole bumbling nine.
Maybe he was measuring them along the way.
Oh, possibly, yeah,
But you
yeah.
do think he set up Sam? That's good. That's something he would do, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it all seems to sort of fall into place for Sam.
He
The
just
whole.
happens to tell Frodo a secret story with the window open with the gardener hanging out after dark.
Oh, I see. You're saying that he was planning it right from the get go. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I still thought the window open was Gandalf just being careless, but no,
Could have been.
I like your idea.
He probably had a few drinks at that point.
Oh yeah, at the party.
Yeah.
Or wait, was that the night of the party? No, I don't think it was in the book,
No,
was it?
he came back in a drunken stupor.
Gandalf, where have you been? The dragon. Um,
I came straight
yeah.
here. I stopped at the dragon for a bit, but I'm here now.
Wizard drinks exactly what he means to. Um, yeah, and there's the whole arc of Samwise too far. Like this was sort of exactly the adventure that Sam needed to pluck up his courage.
Oh, Gandalf set this up so Samwise would marry Rosie. That's really the plot.
this, this has all been done for the Gamgee family tree.
Yeah. Then Gandalf's going to come full circle and ask Samwise for that coveted pair of underwear that he's been trying to get for a while.
Jesus Christ. So another note that I had, moving along, sweeping that one under the rug. Okay. Frodo's vision on Amon Hen, I thought was very, very like to a bad psychedelic trip.
Yeah. I don't remember how the movie depicts it, but I feel like it's not as cool as the book.
No, I don't think he sees as much. I think he pretty much like, things get all weird and like smudge tooly, and
Yeah.
then he just sees Sauron.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that is basically it, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Smudge tooly is the way to put it. It's too bad because the book description's so cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like there's some wild like I feel like there's two kinds of magic going on there, like the power of the ring and also like the actual power of Amon Hen is being like, with the power that you hold, you can actually see everything.
Yeah, like kind of like a telescope, or I don't know how you would describe it, but like he doesn't have any control over what he's focusing on, probably because he's a little hobbit.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
seeing it all at once.
And it's just like yeah, it's just like thing after thing after thing, like kind of like like a really bad trip. How you're like, oh, this isn't stopping, and like, just leading further and further to the looming monster at the end of the story.
The physical eyeball.
Yeah, yeah, the big cat eye in a box,
Yeah,
big cat eye in a tower. I don't know. Yeah, he describes it as a cat eye.
that's good because I thought that there was there's still artistic license taken with it in the movie. It's wreathed in flame, isn't it? Not like actual a source of flame.
Yeah, I almost thought flames like eyelids or like eyelashes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I picture it as well.
But yeah, I think we were talking about this when they were I think Galadriel, one of her chapters is when this came up.
Oh, right.
It's sort of like, yeah, it's very folky, I thought, his description of it. Not that that diminishes it or makes it like it's just a different depiction than it is in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Movie's very straightforward, like this is an evil thing you were looking at.
Um, I don't have any other notes, Corey. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't have a ton either. I have one more, which is the one that I didn't read. Oh, I hope this okay. I hope this doesn't wreck sightseeing with Sam, but Sam found quite a few nuts this chapter, if you will. Exactly like your title. Like he stood up in front of the fellowship and was like, "None of you understand Frodo except for me."
Did he say
uh,
my Frodo?
he's not your Frodo, he's my Frodo. And then yeah, going after the boat in that fucked up river that he hated so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Oh, you mean he found his nuts a couple times? Um,
That is what I meant. Yes, I'm sorry.
okay. I thought you meant like he found a couple nuts, like he puzzled some things out, which is also accurate.
Yes, yeah, both works. Yeah, let's leave it as a as an analogy rather than a reference to testicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hobbit balls have not come up yet on the podcast, and I don't know if we should take this opportunity or not.
I suppose in some ways we've been dancing around the point since episode one with the whole underwear thing,
Yeah,
but
very, very hairy, I would think. Yeah.
no. Well, I mean, yeah, logically speaking, they would have to be. However, should we go to the green train?
I think it's time, yeah.
But the only food for the brave and true comes from the Green Dragon.
Welcome to the Green Dragon Inn, the segment of the episode where we discuss the beers that we're drinking. Mike, what
Corey.
beer are you drinking? Hey,
Hey. You're gonna have to bear with me for a second here while I explain my logic.
ooh, this is fun.
I'm drinking a Sasquatch Stout, a coffee, chocolate, and mystery beer from Old Yale Brewing Company.
Sorry, old what?
Old Yale.
Oh, okay, sure. Cool.
Sasquatch is a furry guy who wanders through the forest, you see.
That actually, yeah, I don't know why. I feel foolish for not thinking of that before
Yeah.
you said it.
Basically a big hobbit.
Yeah, hobbits are very
Um,
good at avoiding detection.
yeah, so are Sam Squanch. Um, it's delicious. It's a seasonal beer from Old Yale. And I usually pick one up.
Oh, you usually have a Sam Squinch?
Sam Squanch beer, yeah. I try to get one every year.
Nice.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty, like pretty chocolatey. There's a taste I can't quite like, almost metallic, but not in a negative way.
Oh,
You know what I
interesting.
mean? And it's like it's pitch dark. It's about as dark as a beer could get. That's good.
Well, still being a beer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my eye on a hot chocolate beer. I just can't find it.
Oh yeah, from where?
Yeah. I can't remember. That's the problem.
Okay, yeah, that would explain why you can't
It's
find it.
it's another. I think it's like a Yeti I can't remember. It's something else of the Sasquatch ilk.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, speaking of decisions, so yeah, I collected two of these for myself because it's such an important chapter. I thought I should have more than one. I should really get to know this beer. Anyway, it is from the Rorschach Brewing Company, and it is called Hiraeth. Now, if you'll bear with my description, Mike, Hiraeth is a word that describes a longing for a time and place that has passed or perhaps may not have existed in the first place.
Oh,
Yeah, longing for the fellowship still being a fellowship.
or the Shire.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, longing for not ever having joined the fellowship, still being in the Shire. It is a pale ale, premium according to the can. They tell me it's a premium pale ale. Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice regular. Did I say ale? Sorry, pale lager. It's a very
Pale
nice lager.
lager. I don't know if I've ever had a pale lager.
It's yeah, it's just like a clear yellow beer. It's got some nice bitterness to it. But it's just an easy drinking guy. It's all Ontario ingredients, which is pretty sweet.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah, bro. They don't export these, like you can't even get these in BC. I'm
That
just kidding.
really,
I don't know
you're probably right. And it pisses me off.
that. Yeah, one thing that this podcast has taught me is that there should be more of a beer exchange between the far west provinces and the middle-ish provinces.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had that chocolate orange beer and I was like, I wish I could get one of these to Corey, but I don't know how I would even do it. Like, I have to get a special container,
Oh
a,
God, yeah,
a
actually.
bunch of wood chips.
Maybe a couple paper towels just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Well, yeah, I think my holiday beer has become that mocha marshmallow one from
Oh
left
yeah.
field that I was showing you, and yeah, you should really try that, but I don't see how you could.
Oh wow. Yeah. I had a s'mores beer one time and it was quite good. It was around this time of year too.
Oh, yeah, how appropriate. Yeah, I guess I guess anyone could be listening to this at any time, but it is we are very nearly at the height of the holidays right now.
I would say it's the worst part of the holidays right now. Just about.
The storm before the calm.
Yeah, the lead up to Christmas.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic. There's an awful lot of boxes that need checking on lists this week.
Angry people out there.
There's an eye opener and no mistake.
And Sightseeing with Sam, the segment of the episode where we discuss the sights that Sam saw. What a time to be seeing sights for Sam. Mike, what you got for us?
Corey, I saw that Sam saw that he wasn't that simple after all.
Oh, what a great, oh man, that's a really nice final chapter conclusion there.
Isn't it? During the
Yes.
holiday season.
He was like the cowardly lion that turned out to have a brain and a heart all along.
Yeah, he had it all.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's the only one who thought for a second and was like, "Oh wait, maybe Frodo's going to leave."
Yeah. Yeah, and actually going back to your point about Legolas and Gimli panicking, yeah, how the hell was it that Sam was the one who was like, "Whoa, we don't need to be running around with our heads cut off. We need to stop and think."
I don't know.
Uh,
Oh, Sammy, Sammy, Sammy.
well, yeah, good on Sam.
He did it.
Sorry,
He did it.
he did do it. Yeah, your sightseeing site makes me think that this could actually be the last sightseeing with Sam. We might even need to have a different segment for the next season.
I think, Corey, we might have already discussed cooking with Sam.
Oh shit, you're right. I forgot about that.
I don't think
Oh yeah.
we didn't mention it on air, but
No. But oh shit, I'm excited now.
that's yeah. I've I've been getting excited about cooking with Sam, and I guess that's a little hint about what's to come.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck, look forward to that. I know I am. Oh, excellent. All right, yeah. Sam has come full circle.
Gross. Corey, what did you see Sam seeing
Good night, everybody.
by the seashore?
Oh yeah, he was by the seashore. Well, I have a joke that I think one or two people might find funny. Sam saw the backside of water
What?
or the underside of
Oh,
water.
underneath it all.
Yeah, or the bottom of a river, or Sam almost drowned. That's my site. Sam saw further into the river than he ever wanted to.
He does just run out into the river, doesn't he?
Yeah, and when Frodo's rescuing him, he's like, well, first of all, he says don't pinch, which made me laugh out loud.
Like
But
a
he's
goblin.
like a wet Sam is exactly like a goblin. He says tread water, and I was like, whoa, 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 Frodo. What the fuck makes you think he knows how to do that? Like clearly he can't even tread water, but
Yeah.
anyhow.
But you know what? Also, what an idiot.
And I quote, he missed the boat by a yard or something like that. Which to a hobbit is quite a distance, but anyway.
He already spent all of his mental energy. He was done.
Yeah,
He was
he's basically
autopilot.
asleep. Oh man. We love Sam.
One of my favorite characters.
Yeah, well, genuinely, yes.
Yep. The most
Um,
fun character for sure.
He's proved to be, yeah. So and now that we've placated our fans with the most popular segment, shall we move on?
Yeah.
The Matham House, it was called.
Welcome to the Matham House, the most unpopular segment of the podcast. Corey, what Matham were you digging up this episode?
Well, Mike, because everyone really wanted to know, I had dug up the history of Amon Hen,
Oh yeah, right.
or barring that, the general area of Amon Hen. But we'll see. We'll get to that. So Amon Hen, the seat of seeing. Very likely, Mike. It was built by our friend Minalkar, who we met in the last Matham House.
Right.
Maybe, yeah. This is what makes the Matham House so unpopular, is you have to remember what we talked about last time.
and these fucking names.
Actually, Minalkar changed names. I think that's sort of lower on here, but he actually has two names, which is slightly frustrating.
They all fucking do.
It's ridiculous. It's very ancient Egypt, I suppose.
Remember Turnberger or whatever his name is from the Silmarillion?
Turin Turambar?
Yeah, that guy.
Did he have two names?
I think he might have had like 5.
Fuck. Well, luckily, we're not talking about him today.
Sorry.
So yeah, Minalkar. So that puts the building of Amon Hen around that of the Argonath in Minalkar's lifetime, between the years of 1248, when he defeated the Easterlings, and 1366 of the Third Age. And so the current chapter, for reference, takes place in 3019. Don't forget. I bet somebody out there forgot, but don't forget. And it is somewhat unclear how built up the seat originally was, but it's clear in the chapter that not much remains of like the path that led to it, or any structures that surrounded it, or whatever. It may have been a watchtower, perhaps, like instead of just a seat out in the open.
Not a physical seat, like the physical eye of Sauron.
Well, it's kind of funny, because if it was a watchtower, wouldn't the seat not have been able to see very much?
Right, unless it was a lighthouse.
Yeah, exactly. But then what the heck was Frodo sitting on? I don't know. It raises some questions, but that's fine. Luckily, we have the Matham House to answer our questions. Amon Hen literally translates to Hill of the Eye of Sauron. Hey, how about that? Also, Minokar gave himself the new name of Romendasil II. And I can't remember if that came up in your Matham last time, and I apologize if it did.
I definitely read that last time, and I can't remember if I omitted it or not.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, the name Minokar was familiar to me, but Romendasil I don't think was. And that's it. because because that was absolutely all the information that there was. I looked up the general area.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So the other hills on the lake, of the lake of Nen Hithoel, are Amon Law and Tol Brandir. Amon Law was on the eastern side, where we know the orc boys were hanging out, and this was the seat of hearing.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to pause for effect there. Maybe it was some kind of like miniature amphitheater, kind of like Amon Hen was like a little lifeguard stand.
Right, like the rocks formed like a curved area.
Yeah, probably something like that. Imagine Frodo was there with the ring. He probably would have been able to hear Sam's thoughts.
Oh. He would have
Or
he would have heard the sound of the eyeball rolling around.
that would be pretty funny. Very, very different chapter that would have been.
Blink. It's too dry.
You know The Simpsons when they get the uniforms and the children at school start blinking in unison.
Yes.
So anyhow, this is all just hearsay, Mike, because there's absolutely no info about Amon Law whatsoever. So on to Tol Brandir then. This was the middle hill, the one that was out in the water. It was tall and sheer, and no one had ever set foot on it because it was, well, tall and sheer, and also right by a waterfall. And that's it. And so then the waterfall was Rauros, the only real information about which is that there is a staircase cut in the rock that can be used as a portageway for boats to avoid the falls. It comes up a little bit when Aragorn is flexing nuts about history. But Mike, this Matham is laughably short, even for a short Matham. This is very short.
I'm sorry for giving this to you. I thought there'd be something interesting.
We've both thought that for like several chapters that we'd come across some kind of, I don't know. I sort of looked into the Emyn Whale as well, but there's really nothing to tell you about that other than the descriptions that are already in the book. Though funny little tidbit, I did come across the fact that the Harfeets in the Rings of Power crossed the area that would actually have been the Emyn Wheel in one of the episodes. It showed it on the map.
Do we see it?
No, it's just on the map. But
okay, there's probably a song playing over it.
Yeah, a walk-in song.
Travel-in tune.
Yeah.
Well, Corey, good Matham.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you for assigning it to me.
You made the best of a bad situation.
I thank you. I did my best. Yeah. And now we know literally all that there is to know about Amon Hen.
Damn it. I thought there'd be more.
Yeah, I really did too. I thought there'd be some like, a battle was fought there and whatever, and then the Witch King was there and whatever, and nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, they were like, I don't know. Let's move on.
I will draw you, Saruman, as poison is drawn from a wound.
I will draw you, Saruman, as poison is illustrated from a wound. The episode where we discuss the chapter illustration that Mike, you've done for this chapter.
Yeah, Corey, I'm just sending you mine now.
Oh, I'm receiving it.
To fully understand it, you will have to have read the final Ninja Turtles novel.
Oh, yes.
The what's it called?
Is it the Last Ronin?
Last Ronin, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome.
So Sam in my chapter illustration is the Last Ronin.
Oh, that's sick. His cooking gear and everything.
Yeah, if you Thanks for noticing that. In the actual book, it's all weapons.
Well, yeah, what's his face? Raphael doesn't really walk around with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rad. The text is very like I can very clearly picture that
Uh,
Ninja Turtles cover.
Thank you. Yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking about the fonts.
Oh,
It's
that's
I recommend that book, by the way.
I don't know if I've ever actually read a Ninja Turtles comic. I know of them and I have seen them, but I don't know if I've ever actually sat down to read them.
I'd never read one before that one. Um, Obviously, well aware of the lore.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Basically, three of the Ninja Turtles die, and the last Ninja Turtle is avenging them.
Oh God, that's dark.
Yeah, it's a dark story, and he's carrying all of their weapons, and
Oh,
you don't know which Ninja Turtle it is until towards the end of the book.
oh Jesus. Oh wow. Oh yeah, because that was sort of like yeah, it was black and white, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is crazy. Huh.
Yeah, and then there's like interludes where his brothers are talking to him.
Man. Oh wow. Cool.
Yeah, so that's my cover. Pretty
Yeah,
fun.
that's sweet. And that fucking eye that goes back to you mentioning the physical eye
The
several times.
the physical eye looking at Sam. Oh yeah, and Sam's the last Ronin. It's all about Sam.
Yes, it is all about Sam.
What did George Lucas say? That this Sam's the key to it all. He said Jar Jar's the key to it all.
I think that's come up a few times on the episode,
I
actually.
think it has. It
Yeah.
deserves to.
How come he hasn't been in The Mandalorian?
Oh, he probably has.
Just in the background.
How long does a Gungan live, do you think?
Mm-hmm. Well, it all depends because like Obi-Wan's species, whatever it is, ages incredibly fast, and then Yoda's species ages incredibly slowly. So maybe Gungans are in the middle. 200 years.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
I don't know. I feel like they should live like 10.
Yeah, frogs don't really live that long, do they? Aren't they like a frog of some sort?
I think they're froggish.
A salamander, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you'd have to watch some of the Clone Wars cartoons to really get his backstory.
Actually, I have, and no, not really.
Oh.
But let's not get into it.
Okay.
But yeah, sweet cover, Mike. That's awesome. Shit, that's our last cover. That is our 22nd illustration.
Wow. Our
Good
last
God.
cover for the Fellowship.
Yes, last cover for the Fellowship. Yeah, absolutely.
We're keeping this segment next season, right? Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Personal
Yeah, I don't
favorite.
see why not. Yeah, personal favorite. And us being fans of the show, we have some sway with the hosts. So
Riders of Rohan! What news from the mark?
Hobbit news, Mike. I have one piece of Hobbit news because we cannot escape. Oh, sorry, has this been properly introduced?
Hobbit News, where we discuss news from the Shire. Okay, go.
Thank you. Because we cannot escape the Rings of Power, no matter what we do, no matter what episode this is. I have some Hobbit news for you, Mike, that is related to the Rings of Power TV series.
What's that? What's that?
If you had to choose a standout character from the series, would you say it was Adar?
He's very cool. Yes.
He is very cool, isn't he, Mike? He's been recast.
What?
Yep, that guy, Joseph Mawley, is no longer playing Adar.
Why?
I don't know. He said something along the lines of like, yeah, you gotta like move on and do other stuff when you think it's necessary. I don't know if that's him covering for leaving like the most expensive TV series ever. Like I'm imagining something happened behind the scenes, but I don't really know. Yeah, bro.
Well, that sucks.
He's moved on to quote bigger and better things.
So who is taking over?
Sam Hazeldine is going to be playing him from now on. Did you watch I didn't research this very well. Yeah, a guy named Sam Hazeldine. Apparently he was in the Sandman. I don't recognize him though. Yeah, I don't know. He's not Adar anymore.
Well, maybe he'll get plenty fucked up, and he'll be unrecognizable.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah. Kind of makes me think like maybe after the whole red herring thing in season one. Maybe Adar was never really meant to be that much of a character after that.
Oh, maybe. And yeah, maybe that's why they had a disagreement.
Yeah, maybe Buddy was like, well, if I have like 3 lines in season two, then no thanks. I don't know.
Makes
Um
sense.
yeah, yeah. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, man, the Rings of Power keeps haunting us.
Oh boy.
Crazy though, because yeah, I actually really genuinely liked Adar. I thought he was great.
Yeah, he was one of the better parts of the show.
Yeah.
Well, damn. If they have to recast what's his name too, then we're done.
Doogie Howser.
Excuse me.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I can't remember his name. Isildur's father.
Oh, Ellendale.
Elendil. If he gets recast, then I'm done with the show.
Yeah. I was thinking Elrond when I said Doogie Howser.
Oh, right.
I almost said Elzar though, because like I was saying, I've been watching Futurama and the names have just been replaced in my head. So this was the final chapter episode of the Fellowship of the Ring. We're getting towards the end of season 2 of that Hobbit shit here. We will finish watching the Lord of the Rings movie. We also have an animated Lord of the Rings to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So look forward to those this holiday season coming straight to video. Yeah, cool. So thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram at that hobbit shit. You can find us on Twitter at hobbit shit. Email us thathobbitshit@gmail.com, patreon.com/thathobbitshit to support the show. You can get stickers and you can get a t-shirt, and you'll be able to get posters of some of our chapter illustrations.
Yeah, during the holidays, I think we're gonna really set up the Patreon, change the Patreon up, right?
We're gonna really zhuzh it, if you don't mind me throwing that word out, Mike.
Yeah, I think there'll be a bit of work for people to do if they, which it's a bad way to put it, but switch tiers. We're opening up different tiers, and you can get different merch because we can't give you merch on your current tiers.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that true? That's how it works, right?
I think so. Yeah. I believe so. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll make it known. So thanks for listening. I'm Corey.
And I'm Mike.
And may the
May the
hair on your toes
never
just
fall out.
never fall out.